Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about this week's college football preview for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Wisconsin Badgers, it's our host, Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? Great game here with the Badgers and the Fighting Irish. I think it's going to be a good one, bro. I'm ready to talk some football with you, as always, on Monday morning, live, early morning, talking football, getting you geared up for this upcoming weekend. I'm excited about this one, man.
Absolutely. College football is back. We're in week 3. We're having this great era. I would love to hear more in the comments about what you guys are doing. Are you going to the tailgates? Are you going to watch the game at the stadium? Are you watching on TV? Do you listen to the radio for your favorite announcers? Are you just hanging out with your friends, and just going to a sports bar and having a couple and watching these great games and watching your favorite team? Let us know in the comments. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing. And thank you so much for listening to our podcast, which is growing so quickly. Well, Mr. Landers, without further ado, tell us, the Fighting Irish and the Badgers, what do we have to look forward to this week?
Yes, we got two good teams coming in, man. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are, of course, always a perennial threat when it comes to that college football playoff each and every season. They are looking good this year, the number 12 team in the country at the moment, going up against Wisconsin, who is ranked 18th. So this is gonna be a good matchup. I think two teams within the top 20 going at it, duking it out this week, and we got a good high-profile matchup. So for Notre Dame, last week they faced the Purdue Boilermakers, and they won by a closer score than a lot of people thought that it should have been. They won 27-13, so they ended up getting the win at the end. But I'm sure if you're a Fighting Irish fan, you would have hoped to get a little bit more of a lead in that and get about 30 or something on the board, not keep it, about a 2-touchdown lead there. But they got the win nonetheless. Good job for them. What they do right, what they do really good. Of course, their quarterback, Jack Cohn, 15-30. That's an even 50% passing completion percentage. You got to do a little bit better than that coming in against the Badgers. 2 touchdowns, 223 yards, 0 picks, kept it clean in the pocket, looked good, and he's got to bring it against the Badgers. And I think the Fighting Irish and that signature gold helmet going to be looking good this upcoming week. Kyron Williams, the running back, had a good day as well. 91 yards on 12 carries with 1 TD to boot, looking solid. For the receiving corps, the real star of the day, Avery Davis, 5 catches, 120 yards, a touchdown, looked absolutely phenomenal. So they were just clicking on all cylinders for offense, looked great. No fumbles, kept it clean on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense was absolutely looking tremendous as well. J.D. Bertrand, 12 tackles, led the team. Kyle Hamilton right behind him with 10. They had a few sacks. They had 3 in total, 5 tackles for losses, and 2 interceptions. Credits to DJ Brown and Kyle Hamilton. Looking really good. So Notre Dame, they look good. They maintain their perfect record so far on the season, and they're coming into Wisconsin, and it's going to be a tougher matchup than Purdue. So you got to hope that Cone can get a little better with that completion percentage, get over 50% for sure, and that defense can do what they did against Purdue, just kind of stop them. I think they'll be fine. As for Wisconsin, they had an off week last week. They did not play. They were, they did not have a game scheduled, so they took it easy. And they were prepping for this game against the Fighting Irish because, man, you got to. It's going to be a tough one. And they've played against Penn State in week 1. They lost 16-10. Penn State's another great team who's looked really good this year. So they've proved that they can go up against some of the tougher teams in college football and play them close. Penn State is currently, I believe, they're the number 6 ranked team in the country. So to only lose by 6 points, that's not too bad. So what can Wisconsin do? Who are going to be kind of some of their key contributors to really help out and to really kind of get a good win, or get, some people might call it an upset win. And, of course, that's going to be led, man, by, you got to have their offense looking good. You got to have Graham Mertz looking like a star. And he's done pretty well so far this season. You got to hope that he's going to pick it up. And you're gonna have that added momentum, that added just hype around you, man. This is a high-profile game, and you really need to bring your A game to get this win. Overall, of course, you gotta have Ches Malusi, their running back. He's got to bring it too. He's looked pretty good on the season. and their defense has got to be tough, because it's going to be, I think, for me personally, a battle for which defense is going to be tougher. Who's going to look the best? Who's going to help you out? Who's going to get a key interception potentially? And it's going to be a toss-up, man. This is going to be a close game, I think, overall. But if I had to go with a winner, because you know how I always do, I always pick a winner. Sometimes I look great. Sometimes I look like I've never talked football before in my life. But, hey, that's just how it rolls sometimes. You got to roll the punches. I'm going to go with the Fighting Irish pulling out in this one. I think they're going to get the win. I'm going to go – let's see. I'm going to go with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 35. I think the offense is going to have a good day. And I think the Badgers, I'm going to go – I'll go Notre Dame 35, Wisconsin 28. So closer matchup. And I think that overall Notre Dame's going to pull ahead, only win by a touchdown. So it's going to be close, but I think just the defense for Notre Dame is going to look a little bit tougher this upcoming matchup. But the Badgers are going to put up a tremendous fight. I can't wait to watch this football game.
Yeah, so I can see that Notre Dame could pull this out, and I hope that the score is close like that, because, man, there was a few years back when I was watching some Badgers football, and those guys were killing it. There's some big boys. So, yeah, I definitely love to see this be a closer game. Well, what do you guys think watching? Do you think that our score is about right? Do you think that that Wisconsin can pull it out? We want to know. Tell us, in the comments what you think the final score will be. And if you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, thank you so much. All of your likes, shares, and telling your friends and family about us, especially telling your coworkers, hey, I've been listening to this podcast, or I've been watching this video about 100 yards of football. You should check it out. So definitely, that's been helping us so much. And if you're not listening to the podcast, or if your friends and family aren't listening to our podcast, introduce it to them. Pull up your Spotify app. Just type in 100 yards of football, and we'll pop up just like you see there. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or any of the other amazing places that you can get to podcasts, including straight from the Believe Podcast Network's website, just go and tell them, hey, just look up 100 yards of football, and we have hundreds of classic episodes. These are evergreen episodes that, no matter what, no matter who won or lost the preview football games, these Legends interviews with some of the great stars of the game, history specials about some of the great games, they'll always be there for you no matter what. And they're great comfort food, as I like to say, so that you can be listening to it in the background while you're doing your work in the morning, when you have your lunch break, when you're on your drive back home, if you get stuck in traffic. It's a great way to let go of some stress and some tension. Think about all the great plays of football. Think about all the great players and listen to some great interviews with those players. And if you want game previews, we got you. If you want team previews, we got you. And every single week, we bring you amazing, amazing podcasts that you can listen to over and over again. And, when we have these game previews, they come out the week of, so you can listen to them. We have you ready. Mr. Logan Landers does a lot of work in the background to make sure that we have all of our pieces in place so that you can get to the information and the stuff that you love. So for everybody watching, thank you again so much for watching our preview of Notre Dame versus Wisconsin with our host, Mr. Logan Landers. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and for the whole team at 100 Yards of Football, thank you for watching live. We're going to be right back with another live episode here in just a second. Stay tuned.